Don't you all remember a time where you played Pokemon and man, it was fun? For some of us, that may have been decades ago, but for a lot of us, it was probably recent with the new Pokemon game that came out. But can we all agree that we also have zero idea how to play the damn card game? Like, man, was that confusing. Or I don't know if it was, because when I tried it, I was a kid. And with the card game being so different than the actual game, it was safe to say I never really explored it until recent. So I guess Pokemon released a brand new client for the Pokemon TCG Online, and it's a client, I guess. There seems to be a ton of mixed reviews about it, most of it being negative, but I can see the missed opportunity right off the bat. I played the original Pokemon Online TCG, and it was a lot more fun. You could trade people for cards you wanted. There was a structure deck format, which was awesome. There was good prizes and rewards. And playing the game, best of all, the Pokemon codes, right? Just buying cards in real life, you can replicate them in game, get the full pack. I mean, it wasn't exactly the cards you had in each pack, but you got the full pack. Or you could just buy the codes online for a fraction of the price, and that's cool too. That was awesome. But enough about the old client, because we got to look at the future, and the future is Pokemon TCG Live. And it looks bleak. Don't get me wrong, stylistically it looks a bit more modern, but this currency system is so whack. Here's a quick rundown of how the currency system works. First, you see these coins. The coins only get you cosmetics, which is fine, cool, whatever. I don't really care about cosmetics. I care about stuff that actually lets you play the game. Second, the purple gems. This stuff actually lets you get cool stuff in the game, but it also takes 15 million years to get any of it. It takes so long to grind this stuff, like you have to either play like crazy to grind your levels up, or do what I do, which is just play a few games every day to get your dailies in and the daily quests. And you can grind up the battle pass rewards. They don't let you actually buy anything in the game, which I guess prevents you from quote-unquote whaling out. But at the same time, you still quote-unquote can whale out in a game, because if you want, you can just buy a ton of codes, and then you just whale out that way, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like it's a really weird thing to have, because people selling these codes, it's not like it's the Pokemon company selling them. It's just random companies selling them after they opened all these cards. I don't know. Seems strange. Lastly, the third is the rainbow looking currency for crafting cards, which is awesome because I don't think you could craft cards in the other format, which is pretty cool. But the way you get this crafting material is absolutely ludicrous. So you open packs in the game, and you get more than 4 of a certain card in your collection. That fourth card, right, turns to dust. This rainbow dust, and it's converted into this currency. And the ratios are horrible too. So just to give you an idea, I had 4 Lugia V's, right? And I got my 5th, and I got 250 rainbow dust. But if I wanted to craft Lugia V, it's 750. So why am I getting cucked on this? Alright, well, normally I wouldn't have an issue with this, but considering you have to go through all these hoops just to get the 4 cards to begin with, you would expect it to be a little more forgiving, at least like half or something. But there is a cheap way of getting this. There's people who already found the cheap way of getting like 60, 70,000 of this, and it's kind of crazy. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who already know about it, so you can't even do it anymore. I'll explain that way really quickly. So, you know those Pokemon codes you can buy on websites? Well, Pokemon Celebrations has all holographic cards in the pack. Holographic cards disenchant, quote unquote, with like the 5th card, turns into more currency than a regular card, right? So there's people who just pretty much bought out the entirety of every website that was selling these Pokemon Celebrations card codes. And yeah, so if you did that, you're most likely getting somewhere between 60 to 70,000 dust, which if you just talk about crafting terms, that makes you around like 12 to 15 decks, which is actually kind of crazy. That's actually a very, very good value. You're talking about spending like $100 to make that many decks. You look at something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, $100 barely makes you one deck. Like if you're talking about like actual money. So it's pretty crazy value when you're talking about that. But the problem is you can't even do it anymore because everybody knows about it. So it's definitely a problem. Again, you can get some of this dust currency just by completing your dailies and stuff like that, but it's just a very minor amount. And another thing I don't like about the game is when you're crafting items, they try and make you craft like the higher rarity, which makes it cost way more. So instead of $750, it's like $1,500. So trying to like almost screw you out of your points seems a little silly. Honestly though, if they can manage add trading into the game and increase the amount of purple gems you get for playing the game by like double, it would be a big step in the right direction. The ranked ladders actually seem pretty good. They have decent rewards and good ways of like showing off, hey, I'm a baller duelist. Hello, when I was editing this video, I decided to go back to check what the actual rewards for the rank ladders was, and I was actually completely wrong about the rewards being good. The rewards are ass. Like look, Togepi, I got some stuff here. Okay, that's good, right? Got nothing for that. Nothing for that. Nothing for that. Upgrading the Pikachu, I get a fucking sweater. I get a sweater. Trust me. I know it's sweater weather now, but you know what? I don't want a sweater. I get a dress. Like some of this is even relevant. Like if you're a character that if you don't want to wear a dress, like this is not relevant to you whatsoever, right? All right, I'm upgraded. I'm at Alakazam. I'm going to Umbria. Oh man. By the way, how many ranks did I just pass, by the way? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. These don't even... Like, it's quite a bit of duels. I think I have, like, 16 wins. I have 16 wins in the Quick League. And I'm at fucking rank 3. I have, like, 7 wins, I think, in a row. So we got, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 13, 14. Before we get to 15, we had 14 ranks, and I got 500 of this gem, which doesn't even make one card, and a fucking sweater. So, let's see what we get here. We get some slippers. Some slippers in a deck box. Nice. Awesome. Now we're in the Ultra League. What do you guys think this is going to be? It's a fucking visor. We get a visor. 2 different visors. Oh my goodness. And then finally when you get to Arceus, a god Pokemon. Something that's like known for creation and shit. Oh wow. Actually, you get 1 pack? Awesome. You get 1 pack and you get some sleeves. That seems like a worthwhile reward. You compare this to other games. Compare it to just... I make a lot of content on Master Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Compared to Master Duel, at least when you're climbing through the ranks, you get some fucking gems. Like, this is crazy. They just don't want to give you anything. Like, it's kind of wild. It's like, nah, if you want to build this shit, you gotta grind, baby. Stay playing. Stay playing on this game. Keep grinding that out. And you know what? I am gonna grind it out because I do want to eventually make that Mew deck because it looks fun. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Alright, let's get back to the rest of the video. You can track your duelist records, which is actually pretty cool, which is good to have in a game. I hope that you can track the records of each of your decks though, because they had that in the original Pokemon TCG and for some reason they don't have it here. But I don't know. Maybe it's going to come in a later patch. I also think the tutorial they gave for this, the first online TCG client, was a lot more informative than this one. I mean, they both did a decent job explaining how the game is played, which the game, I'm not even going to lie, is very simplistic. You knock out all your trophies by first defeating Pokemon in battle. and then you win the game. Simple enough. But honestly, the game does have a bit of nuance to it with the support cards, the items, the Pokemon abilities, and all that stuff can really change the direction of a battle pretty drastically, which is pretty fun, pretty cool. I love when games are more... I don't really like simplistic games, you know? I like when there's actual thinking in the game and you actually have to make pretty smart decisions to inch out some small advantages from your opponent. Let's look at what we're talking about quickly. This is one of the starting decks that you can get right now. Some of these cards I added because I already had some of these cards from my other account. But you get to start off. The game actually lets you start off with a Lugia V-Star deck, which is insanely competitive, really, really good, and actually kind of busted because of some of the synergies in this deck. So let's look at the deck real quick. What am I talking about when I say these synergies in the deck? So these are some of the cards I was talking about. Cards like Marnie. So if your opponent has... So this card, each player shuffles their hands. If players then put any cards at the bottom of the deck they want, then you draw 5 cards. Your opponent draw 4 cards. If your opponent has like 7, 8 cards, 9 cards in their hand, because you just killed one of your opponent, your cards, and they picked up their trophies, you can literally just make them neg 4, neg 3, by making them put their whole hand back and then draw only 4 cards, which is actually pretty nuts. You have other cards that have insane synergy, like you have... this is why the deck's so powerful. You have stuff like Lugia, which can bring 2 normal monsters that don't have a rule box from your discard pile onto your bench. So what that means is this deck's whole purpose is you send cards like this and this to the graveyard, and when you send them to the graveyard, you bring them back with Lugia, because these effects are insane. Look, once per turn, you can search your deck for up to 2 special energy cards, attach them to one of your Pokemon, and shuffle the deck. That makes it so you can activate his attack pretty much the turn you get him out. It's pretty nuts. And there's a bunch of combos like that you can do in this deck. It's pretty powerful, I would say. And you know what? The numbers speak for itself. Like, if you look at my stats on this account, look at my stats. I have 16 wins, 3 losses, and I'm an idiot in this game. Like, I just started playing, like, not that long ago, and just mowing through people because of how powerful the deck is. And that's a starting deck that they give you. So I think that was a good choice in the right direction. But I was really hoping, another deck I was really hoping to get was the new VMAX. And apparently that was what was being offered when this game first came out, which I'm kind of sad I wasn't able to participate in. But yeah, it's just been taking me so long to grind these materials. You know? It's just how it is. If you guys enjoyed the video, please let me know in the comments and let me know your opinions on the Pokemon TCG Live. I know it's not the best, but it's not too bad either. But compared to the original Pokemon TCG Online, I feel like it does fall a bit flat, because the original one had so much, I feel like, so much more to offer. But let me know what you guys think. Goodbye!